There's a person in your head right now. Maybe you didn't choose them, maybe you can't stop thinking about them. Maybe your stomach drops a little every time their name lights up your phone. That feeling, that pull, you think it's modern. You think it belongs to you, to your life, to dating apps and coffee dates and 3 blue dots that won't turn into a message. It doesn't. That exact feeling was running through a human skull 300,000 years ago. No phone, no words for it, no name for the thing happening in their chest, just two people standing near a fire and a brain doing the oldest trick it knows. So how did ancient humans fall in love, and why does it matter that you're still doing it the exact same way? Stay with me, because there's one thing they did when they fell for someone that your brain still does today automatically, whether you want it to or not. We'll get to it. Here's the first thing nobody tells you: love came before language. Think about that. Before there were words to say, "I love you," the feeling already existed. Before marriage, before weddings, before rings, vows, or anniversaries, before any human had ever written a single love poem, the wiring was already there, humming inside the skull. This isn't a story about how primitive they were. This isn't a story about how lucky you are with your apps and your options. This is a story about how little has actually changed. Because love isn't really a feeling. It's chemistry. It's a flood of dopamine, the same chemical that makes a slot machine feel good. It's oxytocin, the bonding hormone that pumps when you hug someone or hold their hand. It's vasopressin, the one tied to loyalty and the urge to stay. 3 chemicals, that's the cocktail. And ancient humans were swimming in the exact same one you are. An anthropologist named Helen Fisher put people who were madly in love into a brain scanner. People from different countries, different cultures, different languages, and every single time the same ancient circuits lit up like a switchboard. The reward system, the part of your brain built for survival, for hunger, for craving. Love, it turns out, isn't gentle. To your brain, it looks almost exactly like addiction. But here's the part that's actually wild: how did they even find someone? No dating, no apps, no putting yourself out there. No bars, no setups, no awkward first messages. Your entire dating pool was the people you already lived with, a band of maybe 30 people, sometimes 50, the same faces every single day your whole life. So attraction wasn't built on a profile or a photo, it was built on proximity, on who you survived next to, on who shared their food when you were starving, on who stayed close when something moved in the dark and everyone's heart started pounding. You fell for the person who was good in a crisis, the one who could track an animal or find water or stay calm when a child got sick. Competence was attractive, kindness was attractive, being someone people wanted around, that was the whole game. And we know they actually chose. Look at the Hadza, a group of hunter-gatherers still living in Tanzania today, one of our closest windows into how humans lived for most of our history. Hadza couples pick each other, they fall in love. And if it stops working, they split. No shame, no paperwork, no lawyers, just 2 people deciding they're done. Which brings us to the thing that's going to bother you a little. Here's what nobody tells you: for most of human history, till death do us part probably wasn't the default. That intense, can't eat, can't sleep, obsessed phase of love, it doesn't last forever. In your brain, the chemical high burns hot for somewhere around a year and a half before it starts to cool. And that's not a flaw. Some anthropologists think it's the point. Helen Fisher noticed something strange in divorce data from dozens of cultures. Separations tended to spike around the 4-year mark. 4 years, just long enough, she argued, to meet someone, fall hard, and raise a child through the most fragile, helpless stage of its life. Then the bond loosens and you're free to start again, maybe with someone new, mixing the gene pool, spreading the risk. It sounds cold when you say it like that. But it isn't really about romance failing, it's about babies surviving. A human child is useless for years. It can't walk, can't feed itself, can't run from anything. It needs 2 people or a whole group just to make it. Love was the glue that kept those people together long enough for the child to have a chance. So no, it wasn't always forever, but it was real, brutally, achingly real. And it gets stranger, because if you think bonding loosely meant they didn't care, you've got it backwards. They felt all of it: the jealousy, the heartbreak, the grief that knocks the wind out of you. Those aren't modern luxuries either. The same brain that lights up when you fall in love goes dark and raw when you lose someone. That's ancient too. In northern Italy, archaeologists uncovered a burial from around 6,000 years ago. Two skeletons, a young man and a young woman, laid in the ground facing each other, arms wrapped around one another, foreheads almost touching. They've been holding that embrace for 6,000 years. People call them the lovers of Valdero. Nobody knows their story, will never know it, but somebody buried them like that. Somebody decided these two should stay together even in death and arranged their bodies with what looks a lot like tenderness. Across 6,000 years, you can still read the message. They mattered to each other, and someone wanted the world to remember it. That's not primitive, that's the most human thing there is. But that's not even the strangest part. Remember that one thing I promised you, the thing ancient humans did when they fell in love that your brain still does today. Here it is. When you fall for someone, your brain locks on. One person out of everyone suddenly becomes the most important thing in your world. You think about them when you don't mean to, you replay conversations, you check your phone, you lose your appetite, you lose sleep, and somehow it feels good and terrible at the same time. That's not weakness, that's not you being dramatic, that's a survival program. Your brain is treating that one person like food, like water, like something you need to live. It floods you with craving so you'll stay close, so you'll protect them, so you'll come back. An ancient human 300,000 years ago, fixating on the one person by their fire, felt the exact same thing. Same chemicals, same obsession, same sleepless, stupid, beautiful pull. Now think about that for a second. Every time you catch feelings you didn't ask for, every time you can't get someone out of your head, every time love wrecks you a little, you are not malfunctioning. You're running software that's 300,000 years old in a world it was never built for. The fire is gone. The band of 30 is gone. We swapped it all for screens and profiles and 1,000 strangers in our pocket, but the program underneath never changed. You're still trying to find the one good person to stand next to in the dark. This isn't about how they were simpler than you. This isn't about how love used to be purer. This is about how the most ancient part of being human is the part you're still living right now, every time your heart does something your brain can't explain. So here's my question for you. If you stripped it all away, the apps, the messages, the photos, and it was just you, a fire, and the people you survive with, would the same person still be in your head? Tell me below, I actually want to know. And if this rewired the way you think about your own heart even a little, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from.